Imagine you're in a relationship where love is abundant, so much so it seems unconditional. But what if this love has a dark side? Welcome to the paradox of love, a realm where the purest form of affection, unconditional love, holds the potential to transform into its polar opposite. Unconditional love, in essence, signifies an affection without limitations or conditions. It's a love that doesn't falter, doesn't judge, and doesn't cease. It is often perceived as the epitome of true affection, the ultimate virtue in a relationship. But like a coin, love too has two sides. The same love that can make us feel secure and cherished when manipulated can lead to feelings of entrapment and resentment. What was once a safe haven can turn into a cage. The very love that made us feel seen can make us feel invisible. Unconditional love can in fact give rise to a darker emotion. Yes, you guessed it, it's hate. Unconditional love, a love without conditions or boundaries, sounds ideal, doesn't it? But is it? Unconditional love. It's a term that's often tossed around in romantic novels and Hollywood films, painting a picture of an idealized form of affection that knows no bounds. It's a love that's supposed to be pure, selfless, and unwavering. But if we peel back the layers of this seemingly perfect concept, we might find a different story lurking beneath the surface. Consider a romantic relationship. One partner is head over heels, believing they've found their other half. They give their all, loving without conditions, without boundaries. But what happens when the other person starts taking advantage of this boundless love? What happens when they start crossing lines, behaving in ways that are hurtful or disrespectful, knowing that their partner, in their unconditional love, will forgive them time and time again? Or think about a friendship, where one friend is always there for the other, offering support and understanding with no strings attached. But what if this friend starts taking more than they give, exploiting the unconditional love and support they receive, knowing that their friend won't pull away? In both these scenarios, we see a pattern. Unconditional love, when not reciprocated or respected, can be exploited. It can lead to emotional distress, resentment, and a sense of being trapped. The one who loves unconditionally begins to feel used, while the one who takes advantage of this love might not even realize the damage they're causing. That's the thing about unconditional love. It sounds idyllic, but it can also open the door for manipulation and emotional harm. It can create an imbalance in relationships, where one person is giving more than they're receiving. It can even blur the lines between love and obsession, between care and control. So, this brings us to an important question. Is unconditional love truly the pinnacle of affection we should strive for? Or is it a dangerous ideal that can lead to emotional harm? Unconditional love, when manipulated, can lead to devastating consequences. The line between love and hate is often blurred. How does this transformation occur? To understand this, we must delve into the human psyche. Love and hate, two profoundly powerful emotions, are more closely linked than we might imagine. Both are intense, consuming, and can dramatically influence our actions. Psychologists suggest that the very intensity of love can sometimes breed contempt, leading to the birth of hate. Let's take an example. Imagine a couple deeply in love. Their relationship is filled with passion, and they share what they believe to be an unbreakable bond. This is the epitome of unconditional love. However, as time passes, one partner begins to exploit this vulnerability, manipulating the other's affection to meet their own selfish needs. The victim, blinded by their love, initially dismisses these red flags. But as the manipulation grows more blatant, the scales fall from their eyes. They begin to see the love they once thought was pure, now tainted with deceit and manipulation. The pain of this revelation is immense, and in their hurt and betrayal, love begins its transformation into hate. This transition doesn't occur overnight. It's a slow, gradual process. The victim's feelings of love get replaced with resentment, anger, and eventually, hate. Each act of manipulation, each broken promise, each lie fuels this transformation. Now let's consider another scenario, one that involves parents and their child. Parents are often said to possess the purest form of unconditional love for their child. Yet if that child consistently disappoints or hurts them, that love can transform into resentment and hate. The child's continual disregard for their parents' feelings, their continuous wrongdoings, can lead the parents to feel a sense of hate towards their own child. In both these scenarios, the common catalyst for the transformation from love to hate is betrayal. It's the shattering of trust, the manipulation of one's love, and the consistent infliction of pain that drives this transition. The journey from love to hate is not as far as we think, especially when love is unconditional and manipulated. Awareness is the first step towards prevention. But how can you recognize if your unconditional love is being manipulated? Manipulation often takes root in subtle ways. It's like a slow poison, seeping into your relationship, gradually eroding your sense of self. One red flag is if your partner constantly makes you question your own decisions, thoughts, or feelings. This psychological tactic, known as gaslighting, is a common tool in the manipulator's arsenal. Another sign is if your partner frequently uses guilt to influence your actions. They might say things like, "If you really loved me, you would do this for me." This is a clear attempt to exploit your unconditional love for their benefit. Now, recognizing these signs is one thing, but preventing manipulation is another. It starts with setting clear boundaries. Define what is acceptable behavior and what isn't. Remember, it's okay to say no. Your needs and feelings matter just as much as your partner's. Equally important is maintaining your independence. Don't let your partner become your only source of happiness or self-worth. Nurture your own interests, spend time with other loved ones, and remember who you are outside of the relationship. Lastly, don't be afraid to seek professional help if you feel overwhelmed. Therapists and counselors can provide tools and strategies to deal with manipulation. Recognizing manipulation and taking steps to prevent it is crucial in protecting oneself from the dark side of unconditional love. Love in its purest form is beautiful, but it becomes a weapon when it is unconditional and manipulated. This delicate dance we've explored reveals the necessity of balance. Too much love without respect can morph into a destructive force. The key takeaway is this: be vigilant in your relationships. Recognize the signs of manipulation and guard against it. Unconditional love can have a dark side, but with awareness and balance, love can remain a beautiful emotion that it is meant to be.